Hi you guys, welcome back to this channel. If this is your first time being here, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Tony. This is Business Life with Tony. If you are a return subscriber, thank you for being here again and again. And today I kind of wanted to go over the services for home service agency. So I know a lot of people that I touch bases with are like, this sounds really good, and they're confused. What is the difference between home service agency and home health agency? So I kind of wanted to go over the services for home service agency, and then you can kind of understand if it's not applicable for a home service agency to do, then 9 times out of 10 it's something that home health would handle or be able to manage. So I'm gonna jump right in with some of the services. I don't know if I'm gonna go through all of them. We'll see how the time goes, but the first one is skincare. So generally you think of skincare as probably like bathing, lotion. So it says general skincare assistance may be provided by a home service worker, excluding the application of bandages for first aid. Skincare should only be performed when the skin is unbroken and there are no active chronic skin issues. The focus of the skincare by a home service worker is preventative rather than therapeutic, involving non-medical lotions or solutions. Skilled skincare such as wound care and prescription medication applications should be carried out by a licensed home health or home nursing services agency. The client or their representative should be able to provide ongoing feedback and advocate for their needs. The home service worker should have completed first aid training, and the agency should have assessed their competency in implementing the first aid effectively and safely. So they do give you a brief description of what is okay and what is not okay, and if they do need further assistance with topical things that have medication, then you could generally refer them to home health aid. And if you are home health aid, then those are things that you can take care of. And so the next thing is ambulation. And so it has here, a home service worker can provide assistance with ambulation. However, clients undergoing training with adaptive equipment for ambulation, such as walkers or wheelchairs, should be supervised by a licensed home health or, bless you, or home nursing service agency. Once the client is deemed comfortable and capable by the healthcare professional, a home service worker can assist with the ambulation. The client or their representative should provide ongoing feedback and advocate for their needs. The home service worker should have received training in assisting clients with adaptive equipment for ambulation, and also evaluate the home service worker's competency in doing so effectively and safely. So in this case, you're gonna want some type of feedback, and this just means like if they're being pushed too far, if they're hurting, they need to be able to let you know that, you know, they need to take it easy or they need to have a seat. And then also, you know, with the competency, these are the type of things that your caregiver should be able to look out for, to, you know, see if there's exhaustion or anything like that. Bathing. To ensure the safety and quality of care, a home service worker can assist clients with bathing, such as tub, shower, sponge, and bed bath, as long as certain requirements are met. The client or their representative should provide ongoing feedback and advocate for their needs. The home service worker should have received training in the specific method required for the client's bathing needs, and be able to observe indications of potential harm or discomfort. The agency shall have evaluated the worker's competency in performing the bath and provide annual training to ensure effective and safe bathing practices. So again, like I said, they should be pretty capable of looking at the client and determining whether or not everything is okay with that client, if they're being harmed, if they need to slow down or stop something, you know, if a certain lotion is burning, or if a certain body wash is like maybe burning them, you could look to see if they're uncomfortable, if something's going on there. And then it talks about the training. I want to touch on the training a little bit. So obviously you want to check for competency. So Once they are, they're doing their training, or they're coming in as a CNA and they already have their training done, you still want to check to make sure that they know what they're doing. Also, if you have a caregiver coming in and, maybe they've done showers, but they've never done, a bath in a tub. So then that's something that they need to get, they need to have training on, so that they can take the proper steps to make sure that the client is safe. Another service that can be provided is dressing. So it says a home service worker can help with ordinary clothing and support stockings that don't require a prescription. However, they cannot assist with applying elastic bandages or sequential compression devices that require a prescription unless certain requirements are met. These include having an order from the client's prescribing healthcare professional, the ability for the client or their representative to provide ongoing feedback and advocate for their needs, the completion of training in applying the compression device, and competency evaluation by the agency. So this is something that they teach us in CNA courses if you're a CNA. How to put on compression socks, how long to keep them on, the best times to put them on, and things like that. So as a CNA, they should know this. They may need to polish up on their training, do annual training, those things. Exercising. So this one you kind of have to be careful with because I'll read it and then I'll go over it. Exercise. A client may receive exercise assistance from a home service worker. However, such support can only include motivating the client to engage in normal body movements within their tolerance level and encouraging them to follow a prescribed exercise routine. It is important to note that passive range of motion exercises should not be performed by the home service worker. So this means if we're doing wrist flexions, for instance, open hand, closed hand, the flexion of the wrist, we can show them and count. I mean, maybe we could say 1, 2, and just kind of encourage them, like, okay, come on, 2 more, just being there to encourage them and show them in case they forgot, and just, it's sort of a companionship, doing it with them. Sometimes we're looking for a gym buddy, somebody to go to the gym with us. Okay, it's almost the same thing. So you can assist them with that, but we cannot take their hand and move it for them. So this is just assistance and encouraging. So the next service is feeding. Okay, so feeding. A home service worker may aid in feeding if the client can swallow on their own and can sit upright in the upright position. It's important to note that home service workers are not permitted to administer syringes, tube feedings, or intravenous nutritions. In situations where there's a high likelihood of the client choking during a feeding, the client must be in the hands of a licensed home health or home nursing agency. So again, if they can sit up right in this position and they're able to swallow on their own, then it's fine for a caregiver or service worker to feed them. If they have any discomfort or choking hazards, food not going down well, anything like that, then it's not permitted as a home service agency. So be looking out for those things, because sometimes, if they're spending a lot of time with us as caregivers, their families may not realize that, or they may think, oh, they have a cold. Sure, that it's worse when they're eating, they're coughing. They're not realizing the medical side of the things that's happening here. So there's a lot of things that can happen with their throat if they choke on liquids, or they're choking on food and maybe they need to go down to puree. Like, as a CNA, we've been trained, bless you, as a CNA, we've been trained to look for those things and to know about those things, bless you. As a CNA, we've been trained on those things, and we know to look for those things, and we know if, bless you, a client is choking on liquids or choking on solids, things like that, that maybe that should be, have a second look, whereas the family may say, oh, they have a cold and it gets worse with them eating, something like that. Being able to observe things like that as a caregiver. So hair care. Hair care is a service that we can provide. It says Home service workers may offer aid in maintaining and improving clients' hair and appearance, which involves shampooing with non-medicated solutions only, drying, combing, and styling. So very simple. This requires competency evaluation as well. Very, very basic, very simple. Mouth care. Home service workers may aid in mouth care tasks such as routine oral hygiene care, denture maintenance, and oral suctioning. However, when it comes to rendering mouth care to unconscious clients, a licensed home nursing agency or home health agency is required to execute that task. Nail care. So this one you have to be very careful with as well. Home service workers can aid with care of nails, such as soaking them, pushing back cuticles, and filing them. However, they are not permitted to trim the nails in case there are any clients with medical conditions that can lead to problems with circulation or loss of feeling. Some home service workers can only file clients' nails, and it depends. So this is going to be a situation where you definitely want to check the paperwork to see if they have any underlying causes where you want to be careful with their nails. And you want to double check to see if they have problems with circulation, and then you kind of know going into that home, if they do require nail care, this is something that we want to be careful with. We want to double check their work. We want to double check to make sure that the caregiver has the proper training for that client to receive nail care. Okay. Positioning. So if a client communicates a need for a change in position, home service workers may then aid with repositioning. In cases where the client is not able to convey their needs for changes in positions, home service workers may still aid with repositioning if it's not related to skin care or follows the service plan. Repositioning can involve adjusting the client's alignment in a variety of scenarios, such as bed, wheelchair, other pieces of furniture. So this is just simple repositioning. If they've been sitting in a chair too long, if they've been sliding down in the chair, if they want to now sit up in the chair, in the bed, if they wanted their head back, they only wanted one pillow, and now they want to sit up, or they want to turn to a different side. Repositioning them, they're gonna need to voice it, and then in a case where they're not able to voice that, it just needs to be for their comfort and not because of anything that skilled service workers would care for. Shaving. Home service workers may assist with shaving clients. However, it should only be done with an electric or a safety razor. And again, there's training for this. The training is very important. It tells you it tells you the proper way to carry out shaving, but you really want to be careful because their skin is delicate. From prior experience in a nursing home, we had a senior whose skin actually got torn a bit from like a sheet. So the sheet was put on the right way, and then for that client, they started to put the sheet on backwards so that the client's skin wasn't being torn by the sheet. The older they get, their skin is more delicate, it's more soft, it's easy to tear. So you definitely want to be careful with that, and especially shaving. So toileting. A home service worker may aid clients in the bathroom with bedpans, urinals, and commodes. Provide peri-care or change clothing or pads of any kind that the client uses for incontinence. They may empty or change external urine collections such as catheters, catheter bags. However, in all cases, the exertion of removal of catheters and external care of the catheters may not be performed by a home service worker. Home service workers may also empty ostomy bags and aid with other client-directed ostomy care only if it's not a skilled care task and does not need to be observed or reported to the nurse. Digital stimulation insertion. suppositories is not in the scope of a home service worker. So that was choppy and lengthy. So home service workers can assist clients in the bathroom. They can assist them with depends. They can assist them with catheter, emptying catheter. They cannot assist with putting a catheter in or taking one out. They can assist with emptying ostomy bags. They cannot assist with it if it must be reported back to a nurse. And with that, of course, if something doesn't look right, then you definitely want to talk to them about it and report it to whoever it needs to be reported to. If it looks like something is not right, obviously you're a mandated reporter. You see something, you say something. So it doesn't mean that. It's just if they, on an ongoing basis, they need something to be reported back to the family or a nurse or something like that, it's not in the scope of a home service worker. Enemas, they cannot do. Suppositories, they cannot do. Okay. Transfers, I might get through them. Transfers. Home service workers may provide support during transfers by utilizing adaptive equipment like wheelchairs, tub seats, and grab bars. Safety equipment such as gate belts may be used during transfers. Mechanical or electrical transfer devices may be utilized only if the client possesses the necessary balance and strength to stand and pivot with reliability. The client may directly assist with transfers, or they may provide constant feedback, including cues and indications of potential discomfort or harm to home service workers, either verbally or non-verbally. Home service workers may have been trained properly to use mechanical or electrical transfer devices by the licensed agency. The client or the client's representative must be able to direct the transfer step by step, and the agency must have conducted a competency evaluation of the worker using the type of device that is available in the client's home. So again, if a caregiver has never done a transfer using an electrical transfer device, then they would need to undergo training on that particular device before they can care for that client. Medication reminders. Assistance with medication reminders is only provided by home service workers if the client and family member, a nurse or pharmacist, has pre-selected medications and stored them in containers. These containers must be clearly labeled with the day and time of the dosage. Assistance with medication reminders includes asking if the medication was taken, reminding the client to take the medication, giving the appropriate medication reminder container to the client, and opening the container if the client is unable to or having difficulty doing so. This applies to all prescription and over-the-counter medications. If irregularities are noticed, home service workers may report them to the supervisor, the client, and the client's advocate. Home service workers may not perform or provide medication set up for a client. So that is very clear, and that is something that I would write down because I get that question a lot. And I thought it was something that people should know and that they did know. I thought everybody would know this, and they're kind of like, do you assist with medication reminders? And then they're like, is that just, and they're confused by that. And we don't like confusion because confusion will turn them away, or confusion will be the difference between them going with your agency and someone else's agency if they have somebody else that they can go to. So just, having this, knowing this, what that looks like for your agency is going to be very helpful to answer those questions or to give them clarity. So again, it's just a medication reminder, asking them if they took it, passing them the container, opening it if they're having difficulty doing so. Those are just good things to kind of remember because I got asked that a lot. I'm not sure if you will as well. You may experience that as well, Respiratory care. Home service workers may not provide respiratory care. Respiratory care is skilled and includes postural drainage, cupping, adjusting oxygen flow within established perimeters, nasal and tracheosuction, turning off or changing tanks. However, home service workers may temporarily remove and place a mask from the client's face for shaving or washing a client's face and may provide oral suctioning. Vitals is one that is confusing as well for families. So home service workers may prompt the client to conduct client's monitoring, which may involve in checking their heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturation, temperature, and weight. However, the agency or the client cannot offer the client, the agency or the caregiver cannot offer the client or their family any service that interprets the data or taking clinical actions based on the monitoring results. The home service worker can assist the client with obtaining their heart rate, blood pressure, or oxygen saturation, things like that. They can assist them with those things, and they can assist them with recording the data, the information, but they cannot report that back to whomever they're requesting it to be reported back to. We cannot record the information, but we can assist them with recording the data. So those are the services that we can provide in great detail. So I know sometimes it's like, well, what does that really look like? What does that really entail? What are we really doing for the clients? And so those are the tasks that you can send your caregivers to do. So if you're wondering if this is something that you want to do and you kind of wanted to know a little bit more of what it entails, I hope you found value in knowing some of the services that are able to be provided and are not able to be provided. That's all I got today. Thank you for tuning in. Please consider subscribing if you have not already. Like, comment, share with your like-minded friends. If you know anybody that may be good at this or is a CNA, maybe you can share this with them and they, you guys can work on something together or individually, but be accountability partners, that would be cool. But definitely, I hope you got value out of this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Yeah, okay,